which side of the board do you want your volume pedal on? Do you typically...
I'm a righty.
Are you right-footed?
I'm
okay,
a right
I'm
guy.
the same way, so we'll keep it right here.
Yeah. Who's that guy?
Is that the only overdrive pedal you had, just a sulfide?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah, I think you said, you know, going forward, probably the next one, get you another one.
Get a tube screamer.
Yeah.
That's what I would recommend next.
Gotcha.
Okay, so power supply.
Mountain that guy, yeah.
I typically put the power supplies in the middle.
Okay.
Because that way, and it'll be like, probably be like that, because you want this to line up. They always tell you use a 9-volt battery, and once you get these on there, it lines up perfect, and then you can make your mark. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to screw these into the side.
This is on the part y'all edit out on your videos.
It's because it always takes us like 4 or 5 times to figure out which way it's supposed to go on.
I know.
So we're just like, we'll skip this. Oh, and also we've learned that you always want to drill pilot holes because they say they're self-drilling, but they are not. Trust me, they are not.
There's nothing self-tapping about that.
Not at all. Said you want to use your loop station as like a practice tool, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so that'll go last. There it is. That's how it's supposed to look.
So you drill some holes there and there.
Yeah.
Good?
Yep. Eye protection. I don't have eye protection, so you can't sue me if anybody gets hurt. Did you want to drill or you want me to drill?
Doesn't matter to me.
Alright, I'm going to let you do it.
That's fine. I can handle it.
Alright.
This is the only thing you got to mount like that?
That's the only thing,
Yeah, this is like this is the hardest, slowest part of the deal.
Get that metal. Did you get it? Yeah, you fine.
Yeah. There you go.
I think he's done this before.
Yeah, he's built a
I've done a couple.
pedalboard or two in his lifetime.
I always learned every time I do one, though. You always...
Learn something new.
Yep.
Do something different.
Yep.
Like where to put the brush back?
Well, it's not my bench, right, man? I like just supervising. This is nice.
We don't mind the work now.
Well, you know, some people want it all built. Some people want to be part of the building. And some people want to build it all themselves.
Yeah.
I
The
find
connecting part is what I.
Yeah.
You said something about I didn't want to drill holes, and that wasn't right.
Yeah.
All these same power.
For the most part, I know this one probably is going to draw a little bit more. This one is.
That is what these dip switches are for.
The dip switches usually change it from either 12 volt to 9 volt. You don't
Okay.
have to worry about it. Most of these are all going to be 9 volts.
Yeah, okay.
But that's what the dip switch is for on certain.
What is it that you have to look for so you don't overload your power supply?
Necessarily, it just you really with that power supply, you're not going to have to worry about it too much. The only time you start really, you don't want to have a 9 volt pedal plugged into a 12 volt power supply. But the milliamps is really, as long as you have more milliamps than you need, you're fine. You just don't want to underpower a pedal. You can start doing some weird stuff. Yay! Didn't fall off. That's good.
It's always a plus.
All right, so then that's where you connect your power.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, so here you see what you got. You got an 18 volt. Don't really need those, but the 9 volts are really what you're going to use. But then you do have these. You can see you can switch from 12 to 9 volt. So this is what all these are going to be 9 volt.
Okay.
The one I'm going to double check just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure these are about 200 milliamps.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to want to use the 250 milliamp for the 9 volt on this one. Everything else, I am pretty sure, is probably 100 or below. Come back to that. I think the first thing is just going to be. I'm actually going back to this. I like the VP Junior, but I'll typically this will probably be the first thing you want.
Okay.
So we'll usually go right about there,
Mm-hmm.
and then your tuner is going to actually go out. You got a tuner out, so that's where you're going to plug the tuner. Some people like to do it here, but I figured you probably want to see it because of their display.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, so we might just throw that.
I
right.
have room for
Yeah,
it.
might do it
I
there.
got you.
Then after that, you're going to come out of here into your first gain stage,
Okay.
which would be the soul food.
Mm-hmm.
Looper's going to go last,
Okay.
so typically throw that up in the corner. Reverb, second to last. Delay. You might put the modulation down here, and your tap tempo you want pretty close to as well.
Okay.
So really the other things you could start adding is, of course, having two different overdrives. That way you get like the Soul Food is just a great little mild medium overdrive, and then you can have like a Tube Screamer that you can have set for a little bit more distortion, and then you also have the option of having them go at the same time, which can also give you. So with two pedals, you almost get three different types of overdrives.
Right.
And then you go modulation, and then delay, reverb, and then looper. So that's how I would do it. That way, loop. If you do a clean thing and then add some distortion, it's just going to take all the pedals and do whatever you want and reproduce that rather than the other way around. So if you're going to be practicing a song, you just want to lay some chords down,
Right.
have that go, and then you could add delay to your thing and do that next. And
Cool.
it just gives you options.
I got you.
But you can see you got some space to fill in this board, man.
Yeah, that's why I bought a bigger board.
Yep.
More pedals from you.
Yeah. So we'll probably keep it nice and we'll just lay it out, spread out so it looks pretty good, and then. Okay, so 225, so you're going to want to make sure this goes into a 250 milliamp output. This one's 240, so those are your two pedals that you're going to want.
Okay.
And that these are not. These are usually about 100 and less.
Okay.
So in here you'll see the it talks about like the different. A lot of these are just links. Joe, there's Nickelback playing on the radio.
Look at this graph!
I have none either. It should be activated.
Every time we do a laugh. What the hell's on Joey's head? So
So let's grab our patch cables and see, because I know they're kind of spread out.
Oh yeah,
a little bit. So I mean, we could always tighten it up.
Yeah.
And just kind of leave space.
Yeah, because that's all the cables I got.
Yeah.
So
No,
we'll have to use them.
This is what you want. You want it to be nice. That's gonna be your tuner. It's gonna be always on too, so you don't have to worry about that.
I got you. And then you can use it by muting everything, right?
You don't have to. You would just roll that.
Okay.
And this will just stay on, always plugged in.
Just take your volume out.
Just volume.
Check your tune.
And then check your tune, and then you got it back.
And then just leave your tune on.
That's how I do it, and that way it's always on. I don't have to worry about it. The problem I have with, because I'm so used to this, is when I go to a mute, I forget to hit it, and then I'll start playing, and nothing's coming out, and I look stupid. So I'd rather just know this is always on. If this is down, nothing's coming out. If it's up,
that's you know, when you're in the heat of the battle, that's good to know.
Yeah, I've never been able to. Some people do that, and I just can't mentally. I can't get. I'm more focused on what I'm supposed to be playing rather than
I would be too.
Off.
Especially if I'm starting out, I'm nervous. I'm thinking about hitting that chord right.
Yep, not hitting the wrong one. It's just you leave it in there for a couple years and it stops working.
Yeah,
What's going on?
Then you need a new part.
Yeah. No, thank you.
So I always just blow it because you're using the power.
All of them?
Usually.
I had no clue. Yep, good old boss. I never even tried. I could have tried and tried.
You got your whole new set of batteries.
Just change them out in your fire alarms.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they probably need it.
Well, I was wondering how the light lit up.
Without it being plugged in.
I ain't paying attention.
I was like, what?
It only activates when you have a cable plugged into it, so it won't necessarily drain.
Well, I assumed that you had done something here.
It's magic. You sure you don't want to put another pedal here? I got plenty. I got a two-string for you.
As I save, I'll get some more for you.
It's just hurting me. I'm like, oh, something needs to go right here.
Room to grow, remember?
All right.
When the wallet grows, the board grows.
All right.
On my bike, what is all this?
So what I did, I had the volume. There's a tuner out on here, and that's all I did. I just went from the tuner out to the tuner, and that's it. You won't ever have anything coming out of there.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So it's just that's it. It's plugged in there, and that's it. So the next one we need to do is we need to go from here to your first pedal, and then I'm going to leave probably the tap tempo here. That way it's kind of your utility area. So tap tempo is going to set the setting on that, and then your volume and swells and stuff like that. We're ready to go out from this pedal. And again, I'm using mono, so just so you know, the nice thing about these bosses, you can run them stereo, which if you ever ran like a 2 amplifier situation where you could have stereo effects, you can. I have never done it, but I want to. But on your signal path, you're always going to run into the mono.
Okay.
So, and even on your looper, you're going to run into the A input and the A output.
I got you.
All right. And then on here as well, you can see on this one you have your mono and your mono output,
okay.
so that's going to have that.
Stuff came with it.
When you see guys with giant pedal boards and tons of pedals, you know they got thousands of dollars. Not even talking about their guitar. Amp.
A lot of times their pedal board's worth more than their amp and guitar put together.
I mean, the guitar. Is this where you buy that custom fit kit?
You can.
Yeah.
You can. I mean, the problem is that they're expensive and they can be a little glitchy. You want to make sure you test every cable when you're done. Whereas if you got the patch cables,
I'd rather have the
it's all
store-bought, ready to go.
Yep. So there to there.
You buy them at different lengths.
You can.
Yeah.
Yep. Though it's usually like the store-bought, or are you talking like the cable kits?
No, the store-bought.
Yeah, there's just different lengths. 6 inches, 1 foot, things like
You
that.
just basically need to, as I do this, space them out like I want them and measure.
Yep.
And just buy the length I need.
Yep.
I haven't got that hooked up yet.
That's going to be, we'll do that at the end. That's going to run out from here to there. So I need to measure that. So I'm ordering some right angle, but right now I don't have any, so we're just going to have to use that. that's the thing is you need a special type of cable for this, and they just don't typically make the tip ring sleeve in a.
Oh, you need it for this.
Yep.
Okay.
What's cool though is since you see you don't have much stability with that,
Right.
it's kind of loose. Once you get it, you can almost zip tie
Tie
this
that down
here,
and
and then that's
stay-
going to
I
hold it.
got
Yeah, so you can create different ways to The tuner's going to need one. Now be careful in the tuner. You have. What's cool is this can act as an extra power supply, so it does have an out. So if you ever run out of spots, you do have an extra one back here, which is kind of cool. It's a little utility purpose. Yeah. So if you want, you can even just run this on. You don't have to keep it on. You might actually be better off just doing that and tying it and just for that. This one you can even, just
Gotcha.
put one of those down there and zip it there.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'll take a few of these from you. When I
Please
go
do.
home.
Those are yours. Okay, so the big ones we need to make sure we get powered correctly is your MD200, the modulation pedal. So you want those into a 9-volt, 250 milliamp, which are going to be this one and this one. You also have a 500, which is cool. You have two 500s. You could, even though this one's 225, you could plug it into a 500. You're fine.
Okay.
What you don't want to do is run this 225 into a 100.
Gotcha.
It's not going to work or it's going to not work properly.
Right.
That's the only thing you got to worry about. Again, you don't want a 9-volt being plugged into a 12-volt. So what I'd say, let's go ahead and plug this into one of these 250s, and then we'll grab the other one that needs to go in there. So yeah, so then what you could do is, you could throw one of those squares here, one square here, one square here, and just kind of run everything through and tidy it up.
Yep.
However you see fit. So let's plug it in, make sure it all works.
Yep. And there's the.
Yep, so control. Just leave that on at all times. That way you can tune. You use this tuner already?
Nope.
You haven't used it? Okay, so
it's ever been used.
it's all right here in front of you. So basically flat, sharp, and you see what note you're tuning to.
Right.
So E is what you want, but you can see this is that little dot right there. That's D sharp.
Okay.
So that's what you need to know, that it's sharp or flat. Cool. So that's, you just you never have to turn that on or off, just always on. So depending on how you want this set. And this amp is terrible, just so you know. It's
I got you.
So if you want a little bit more drive. And what I try to do is, so what you need to learn is, and you might already know, unity gain, right? It's where the pedal is not as really, you don't want it much louder than your clean signal, right? So, so see, that's too loud,
you. Right.
So what you want to do is you want to find that level to where it's.
Boost it.
Yep, and of course I could turn the amp up and then, So that's what you want, and then you can dial in how much. So typically if you're just doing a clean and a dirty, you're going to want this to be a little bit more overdriven so that you got, delay. So so you have your delay level. So that and that's just your repeat. So the level of your repeat. So some people, like on your U2E type stuff, you want the delays to be about the same level as your actual clean signal. And then some people want it to be more subtle depending on what you're doing, and you can roll that back. We're on a weird delay. Let's just do... like analog. But your reverb seems to be, that's your giant, this, that switches all your different ones by pressing on that button. So you have spring, and then Epic. I use Epic a lot. And then Pad is also. You got the shimmer. That'll make it to where it's all. So it gives you a low octave and a high octave, and you can do in between. So I use
the big auditorium.
Yeah, I really like it. Yeah.
Sounds good.
So that one works, and let's see if we can do a. Easier to start it with your foot. And now you can just get to where you're.
Hours of fun there.
If you hold it down, should delete. There you go. It's clearing.
Oh, okay.
And you're back to 1. So if you ever come up, what's cool about the RC3 is if you ever come up with something you really like, you can save it to one of your memory banks, and then you can bring it back up, and you get a cool chord progression. Or if you have your set list for the week that you're playing at church, you want to go ahead and do some practicing with that. I think I know what I did wrong. I don't think you need this cable. I think it's going to work with just a normal 1/4 inch.
Really?
So let's see. Yeah, so let's grab. See if we have a cable that'll fit.
Yeah, you get some cords in, I can give them back to you.
No, you're fine. Yeah, we'll just swap them out. Yeah. Yep, there you go. There you go. Checked in. The only thing it doesn't work for is the hold mode, but that's okay. You're all set up.
That's cool.
That's what I'm talking about. What was that? There. a different one. Just hearing that one used to be popping. Could just be a bad one with a short in it or something. This is not supposed to do that. Yeah, the only thing I would like to see, I want to see this, you know, in the future. I'm going to get some different lengths of this because I'd like to swap that out.
Yeah.
And then also,
yeah, right.
And then get a longer one here so that you don't, so you can tuck this underneath and it'll look nicer.
Okay.
But. Why is it just giving me that one setting?
That's cool.
So that's a tremolo. And you can save up to, you know. So this should be manual mode. So now you should be able to change. Oh, there we go. This one's wrong. So there's a press down button here. So that can change some things. So there's your phaser. Chorus. It's an organ.
You gonna need to hire somebody to work the pedals.
So that's kind of fun. There's all kinds of stuff. And then the rotary. There you go. So that's working all fine. Just want to make sure that you're in manual mode to be able to change the stuff, and then you can save some of your favorites that you like in there. And then some of them will have tap division depending on, I'm sure, like your slicer and vibrato. You can do different things.
What you do the box and off of that?
What's that? It's out there in the counter. Yep. But everything's working, man. Get you all set up. So, and of course, you got your, you know. So you got your swells ready to go, man.
Okay.
So you're set.